Got a lot to get into today. I might do a follow up later on today on Texas and Oklahoma. Some new developments broke late last night. Plus, I don't think I was clear enough yesterday. There was a bit of confusion. Just because I find college football in 2021 to be boring, it does not mean I don't like college football. I just want it to be better, more competitive. Texas and Oklahoma moving to the SEC would be a step in the right direction, a step in making college football more competitive. That is the point I was trying to make yesterday. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. So we might do a follow up on that later today. Just depends on how things go. First things first, we have got to get to Space Jam 2. When the film opened 10 or so days ago, early projections were not good. I mean, it was bad. When I uploaded my video on it the Friday afternoon that the film was released, I believe the numbers at that point were somewhere around $200,000 in revenue, somewhere in there. 24 hours later, after that, Space Jam 2 shocked the hell out of me, shocked everybody. Ended up grossing over $30 million. While that's not great, it's not bad either. I mean, pretty good. Definitely a hell of a lot better than the experts were projecting. The movie cost around $150 million to produce. And after you factor in marketing and promotion, the estimated total budget for Space Jam 2 is around $200 million. As you see, it has a long way to go just to break even. For comparison purposes, Michael Jordan's Space Jam back in 1996 grossed $27.5 million opening weekend. When you adjust that for inflation, that's over $47.5 million. Its second weekend, it made $16.2 million, or over $28 million when you adjust it for inflation. But we don't want to compare LeBron to Michael Jordan. That wouldn't be fair. So we'll just leave that there. Space Jam 2 had a lot of momentum going into its second week at the box office. There was a lot of positivity surrounding the film. After its surprisingly decent opening weekend, LeBron James tweeted out a link to an article, and he called out all of his haters for doubting him. The movie needed a strong showing this past weekend. With the Chinese government blocking the film from being released in China, after all the ass-kissing LeBron has done to the CCP, Space Jam 2 is more reliant than ever on the domestic consumer in America. LeBron James needs the very country that he turned his back on. Funny thing about Americans, they have a tendency to vote with their wallet. They don't take too kindly to people who denigrate the country. Americans are quick to forgive until it comes to patriotism, or in LeBron's case, the lack thereof. Americans have a tendency to hold a grudge when you spend the better part of the last 2 years calling them racist. America damn sure voted with their wallet this past weekend. It sent LeBron James a clear message. This past Friday, Space Jam 2 earned just over $3 million. Early projections for the entire weekend have the movie grossing around $8 million, bringing the total revenue to just under $51 million in 2 weeks. This is a disaster. It's a disaster. There's just no other way to say it. This represents a 72 to 77% drop from opening weekend, which would be one of the biggest drops in movie history. There goes LeBron James again, making history. This would be one of the 10 worst drops ever for a movie that opened with over $30 million its opening weekend. And it would be the fourth largest drop for a non-horror film. In other words, the acting debut of LeBron James is a dud. LeBron apologists, they're going to come up with all kinds of excuses as to why the movie is performing so poorly. I mean, it can't be another example of America turning on woke politics. That can't be it. We can't use that reason. It goes against the agenda. I'm sure some will blame the media. The media turned on LeBron James. They blasted the movie before it even came out. You would be hard-pressed to find one critic that had anything positive to say about Space Jam 2. But the main excuse is going to be China. The CCP is still blocking the movie from being released. No reason has been given, or at least a reason I can find. I can't think of a reason why they wouldn't allow it to be shown in China. I mean, it can't have any anti-communist sentiment in the movie because LeBron is a loyal communist. Who the hell knows why the CCP makes the decisions that they make? I don't know. But using China as an excuse is not going to work. If Space Jam 2 had grossed, say, 125 or 150 million domestically, then you could blame China for the film not recapturing their budget. But there's no way to spin this. Space Jam 2 bombed at the box office. Plus, Black Widow's not being shown in China either. Somehow, that movie managed to gross over 150 million here in America. I think what happened here, opening weekend, the people who love LeBron James came out and supported his movie. The problem is, obviously, there are not enough people who like LeBron James here in America. This is what happens when you turn your back on your own country. This is what happens when you align yourself with a communist regime. The Chinese government, they don't give a damn about LeBron James. They don't care if Space Jam 2 ever gets released in China. LeBron needs China more than China needs LeBron. He has put himself in a precarious position business-wise. He has a lifetime contract with Nike, who has also turned their back on America in favor of China. Now, LeBron is not hurting financially, likely never will, but he has put himself in a position to where his financial future, or at least future earnings, is directly tied to China. He does not have the support here in America, and it's his own fault. This is the reason Michael Jordan stayed away from politics. LeBron went the opposite direction. He doesn't know anything about politics, clearly, but he allowed people to get in his ear. He allowed people to guide him down this path. Ended up being a path of destruction, which is always the case when you align yourself with woke politics and communism. It always leads to individual destruction in favor of the collective. I highly doubt we are going to see LeBron James in future movies, at least in a lead role. And at this point, I don't think it's possible for LeBron James to revitalize his image in America. He could hire the best PR firm in the country, pour hundreds of millions of dollars into his public image, it still wouldn't work. There's a large portion of the country disgusted with the behavior of LeBron James. America has repeatedly rejected wokeness, at least when it comes to athletes and sports. Think about the amount of money LeBron James has lost in just 2 years. NBA ratings have tanked. The finals averaged just under 10 million viewers this year. And now Space Jam 2 is on pace to lose over $100 million. LeBron sours everything that he touches. NBA ratings down over 50% since 2012, when LeBron started to go woke. Space Jam 2 down around 75% from opening weekend. It's the same story over and over. We've said it countless times. Anything painted with the brush of woke politics goes into decline. The Olympics, the NBA, LeBron, and soon the NFL. All right, time to let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on Space Jam 2 bombing at the box office. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com. KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.